Hi, this is Phil Pempin, the Superintendent for Vermillion Schools. I'm going to outline 5 goals that I set with the Board of Education, and I'm going to go through the action steps that we've come up with so far in relation to those goals and its progress towards the goals. So I'd like to go over those just as a way to give the board and the community an idea of some of the progress that we've made. So I'm going to start with our first goal. Our first goal is to achieve academic excellence in the classroom, building, and district-wide by holding accountable for the following practices. Action steps. Student learning objectives. Measuring student improvement will be developed for each student area in collaboration with teachers by the end of the 2012-2013 school year. We've been working very hard with the Common Core standards and specific learning objectives in cooperation and collaboration with our North Point Educational Service Center. And additionally, we're continuing to improve our baseline assessment, ongoing assessment, and end-of-the-year assessments so that we can accurately measure value-added progress. We're looking for a year's worth of growth for a year's worth of work for our students. This is really going to be a true measure of their performance. So this has been a major focus of ours, and at this February's waiver day, we're going to be devoting a good deal of time to our teachers working on the new evaluation tool and the beginning phases of developing these student learning objectives that I previously mentioned. The staff will first meet with the principals and key teacher leaders to discuss the Ohio Teacher Evaluation System, and then break into core subject groups to examine those specific models of learning objectives and create some samples. In the afternoon of that waiver day, the teachers will meet in core subject groups to examine new Common Core standards and vertical alignment. So that's some of the progress that we're working on in those student learning objectives. Next, we're developing criteria for rewarding teachers, such as group collaboration, communication with students and parents, and creating online courses, becoming math coaches, master teachers, and nationally board certified is the end goal. Some of the progress that we've had towards that specific aspect of this academic excellence as the main goal is to hold meetings, which are held at grade level, and meet with grade level teams to receive their input on strengthening our curriculum. Our teachers are encouraged to pursue professional development, and we're going to help them to keep up with those leadership skills by encouraging them to go to whatever professional development programs that are available that are directly related to them as teachers. Daily walkthroughs with a minimum of 9 per week, and 3 Ohio Improvement Process SMART goals will be used as documentation towards goal progress, with quarterly administrative team meetings reviewing and summarizing the progress. Walkthroughs are a big part of what we do here at the district, and I could tell you that as a principal this has been a time constraint for me this year to get out into the classrooms as much as I'd like. So I'm going to be working with my assistant to get better scheduled and get out into the classrooms a little bit more than I've been able to do in the past. In past years, I've been able to spend more time in the classrooms. We do have a facilities project this year that has inhibited me from being able to do some more of that work, and I will be trying to make sure that I'm getting a better schedule and being more organized with my ability to get into the classrooms. So we're setting a more aggressive work schedule in terms of making sure that those are going to be regularly scheduled events and not let any interruptions occur. Success Maker software will be utilized district-wide to demonstrate the year's academic growth for each student. This is a new software program that we've been offering for our students this year, and it's primarily at the grades K-8 level, and we're going to be introducing a grad point software that will be helping our students in grades 9 through 12. So it's been a very successful program at the K-8 level. If you walk into any of our classrooms now, you can see that our students are working on this software, and it's a self-paced type of program that has some assessments available to them, and it's a self-paced program, and the students are really enjoying it. Align and differentiate all professional development to achieve value-added growth for each student. Once again, this relates back up to that goal number 1, which is to achieve academic excellence in our classroom, building, and district-wide. So we are working with our teachers and meeting in our core subject areas for planning and development to create student learning objectives and create curriculum that's aligned to these new core standards. This is a real big part of what the state is requiring with the core standards, and it's a big job, but we are tackling it with our team, and we're very confident that our teachers are starting to make progress in this area. Begin development of a written education plan, a WEP, that creates an individualized action plan for each student that culminates in graduation from one of our 3 pathways. Our counselors will be meeting with the parents and students in the last 2 weeks of February this year and in the first 2 weeks of March to develop schedules for the next year, the 2013-14 school year. In addition, they're developing a written education plan for each student by looking at the results of the Explore and Plan tests that were given to each student, and that will help us to determine what the interests and the possible career choices are for each of the students. So that covered pretty much all the action steps for Goal 1. Our second goal is to increase the graduation rate to 100% for all of our high school seniors. The following then are action steps. First is to create a list of at-risk seniors in September for each school year. We have documentation that this has been taking place, and we are having our students complete an intervention plan that's in place for each of our students. So we have made a list of these students at this point. There's a small number of students, 8 to be exact, that we consider at risk, and we're looking at those students very carefully and making sure that they have this action plan in place. The next action step toward that graduation rate of 100% is to provide documentation of in-school intervention. Of the students that are identified, we're looking to see which one of those might be in danger of not graduating. We take that very serious, and we're making sure that a plan is being put into place to give every student the opportunity to make up the work and to graduate on time. So we're working very closely with the students and with the families and making sure that we can take every step possible to make sure that that student graduates, or those students would graduate on time. The next action step, provide action plans for each student by October 14th. We met that goal and we completed that on schedule. Provide counseling and wraparound assistance. This was also a part of the action step toward making sure that 100% of all of our students graduate as high school seniors. Our principal, Heidi Riddle, and our guidance counselors are meeting to review all of the records of these at-risk seniors, and they're meeting with parents, once again, to develop that written plan for the successful completion of the credits. Progress is being reviewed at the end of each semester, and review meetings are being held every 2 weeks by the principal and the counselors to check on those progresses and check on the continued interventions for each student. Next action step was to provide quarterly documentation for each senior that is demonstrating progress. Every student receives a progress report at the end of the 9-week period, and as a parent, you know that you have access to that report, and please do not hesitate to ask us about that or make sure that you are getting it as a family, because it's important that you as a parent are going to follow through with us as well and be part of the team and ensure the success of your student. And finally, under this goal of increasing the graduation rate to 100% for all high school seniors, the last action step is to track all non-graduating high school seniors and provide updates. Tim Lamb, who is the administrator of our workforce development program, has developed a plan for every senior that did not graduate in 2012, and progress is as followed. One of the students has completed the graduation in the summer of 2012. We've got 3 students on track of graduating this year, and 3 of our students are continuing intervention through phone calls and personal visits and attempts to urge those students to complete the assignments for graduation. So we're working on several steps, Mr. Lamb and our team, to make sure that we're ensuring that those students that did not graduate last year are being kept on track with the program. The third goal, create goals for principals and supervisors that reflect the district and superintendent's goals. The action steps that go along with this goal. Work with principals to implement the new teacher and principal evaluation tool. We've utilized the new principal evaluation tool for the mid-year principal evaluations, and those have been given to each one of our principals and administrators and are complete. And the principals are using this new teacher evaluation tool that was agreed upon by the VTA, our Vermillion Teachers Association, last year. So that's gone along well, and we are on task with that particular part of the action step at this time. Involve principals and supervisors in 3 goals within the Ohio improvement process. This has been kept up with as well, and principals are active with their building leadership teams, which is part of the Ohio improvement process. Monthly goal reviews with all administrators. Ongoing discussions have been held with the principals and their goals on their goal progress so far. Send quarterly reminders of goals to all staff, encouraging continued work towards meeting the district goals. This was done in December with an email reminder of the district-wide goals and was sent to all of our staff. The email was sent to the staff from the administrators to include our mission statement, and as part of the new duties as the communication position, Cindy Akers will be sending monthly reminders to the staff on our goals, our mission statements, and all of the necessary progress that needs to be made toward those goals will be outlined just in a brief statement by Mrs. Akers at that time, or by myself from Mrs. Akers at that time. Each principal will create and monitor a building level team to utilize the Ohio improvement process goals to increase performance on value-added growth process. Our building level teams, or our BLTs as we call them, are organized and meeting in every building. Each principal has a mid-year evaluation that's included in the review of the BLT progress. The principals provide monthly reports of those building level teams, and they are also reporting out at district leadership team meetings as well. Our fourth goal is administer a substance abuse program and a substance abuse policy. And as you know, we have recently put that into place this school year, and these are some of the action steps that we've been taking to make sure that that substance abuse policy has been administered this year. Hold monthly review meetings with administrative designee and report progress monthly, and a weekend review to the board and at quarterly board meetings. Our drug task force has met regularly and have been giving updates to our board at board meetings since September of 2012. Once again, as part of the administration of the substance abuse program, another action step is to create affordable counseling options for our students and our parents with the help of local business and our ministerial association. Our Assistant Superintendent Jim Bellata has a list of 6 agencies, and he's working and beginning to assist families that are identified with those issues. The next action step is to create additional after-school activities to provide alternatives for our students. We're proud to say that we have in the past offered many supplemental activities, band, music programs, sports activities, and we've increased those activities this year by adding supplemental contracts that have been negotiated with our Vermillion Teachers Association, and we've also worked with our community in an innovative program called Fifth Quarter. After our football games and basketball games, our students have been able to attend an after-school or an after-event program in the evenings that have been able to keep them busy and provide alternatives. Another action step, provide substance abuse education in grades 4 through 9 and expand that from the K through 3 level and the 10 through 12 grade level. Specific teachers in grades 4 through 9 have received training on a life skills curriculum. These key teachers are providing instruction to students during the second semester. Students in grades kindergarten through 3 are exposed to substance abuse education through their drug-free curriculum. This information was shared with the parents at the Parent Partnership meeting on January 28th. And finally, the last action step toward administrating this substance abuse program is to continue to work toward a culminating end project on our drug task force. At this time, our drug task force is still working with us in conjunction with this goal, and we believe that it's still necessary to continue on with that particular task force until we feel a comfort level that we can come up with an end time. And finally, our last goal that was set with myself and in conjunction with the board is by the end of the 2012-13 school year, the superintendent will investigate the addition of a human resource company. We're going to interview and choose an outside consulting firm that will investigate the services available from this firm and determine if they're applicable and relevant to our public employment here in the district, and to see if they can be integrated with the state laws and requirements that are necessary in a public school system. We've contacted the following HR services, and we've contacted the following outside vendors, and we've been looking at the administration of worker compensation and unemployment claims, comp management. We've talked to we've worked with hosting, maintenance, and updates from state required payroll software, including the printing of key employment forms through TRECA, a organization that is now working with our district. We've automated absence report and substitute calling through our ASOP system. We've administered a Section 125 plan through American Fidelity, and we've also administered health insurance claims through Medical Mutual, and we also administer a dental vision plan through the Lorain County ESC. So these are some of the various outside agencies that we do work with now presently, and we will continue to explore the possibility of an HR firm that can take this further. The possibilities of outsourcing of substitute employees has been investigated. Current laws do not allow these vendors to report earnings and contributions directly to the state employment retirement system or the state teachers retirement system. The vendors must all send contributions to our payroll department that require us to complete a separate payroll routine for accurate reporting of retirement contributions. This process is more time-consuming and costly than our existing procedures. We continue to talk with vendors about outsourcing these options. So of all the goals, this is one of the most challenging ones that we will continue to work with. That was a very detailed explanation of the 5 goals. I hope that this gave an overview of what those 5 goals are for the district. We will continue to show progress toward these goals and document it and send out reports on a weekly basis to our board. If you ever have any questions from the community or in any regard about the goals or any other issues with the schools, please feel free and to come into my office to ask me, or if you see me in the community, please feel free to ask me about the goals or any other issues that you see within the school. I hope that this has been helpful in the communication process, and thank you.